Okay, here we are in Bangkok, Thailand. This is October 2nd, Sunday, 2022. We're at the Sustainability Expo, and what we're looking at here is all-electric concrete truck. This is a full-size concrete truck. It's quite impressive. Concrete is a major building material here in Thailand, so lots of buildings are going to be using large amounts of concrete. Let's walk closer and take a look at the design of this truck. Now I have the dual axle. I have air brakes. I see the big leaf spring suspension. Obviously since air brakes, I'm going to have an air compressor. Now oftentimes I have a combination of 12-volt batteries and the high voltage battery, and I suspect this is my 12-volt battery. There we see our air storage tanks, and here we see the heat exchanger there for the hydraulic reservoir, and I see my hydraulic pump, and there's the water tank there up on top. Great big hydraulic motor to drive the drum. And let's walk around here. Now obviously this is going to be my high voltage battery pack. So no fuel tanks, but I have a very large high voltage battery pack. And as I look at this steering and suspension, it actually both front axles steer. So I should be able to turn rather sharply and have a small turning radius, and that's real important here in Bangkok, because you're going to have to maneuver this truck in tight places. I see a very conventional truck design as far as the frame and suspension. I see McZurk fittings for greasing critical joints, and here we see our steering linkage going back and forth there from the two front axles, which both are steering axles. Let's take a look at the truck from the front. And we see the CAMC. Very impressive looking truck. So if this were to drive down the street, it really wouldn't stand out. You wouldn't know the difference between this and a conventional cement mixer. There, as I look though, I do have a heat exchanger. Now I'm going to sneak down here and just kind of look and see what's hiding here under the hood. And oh, I have a large electric motor. One great big large electric motor. I see the high voltage cables. I'm going to sneak down and just take a look underneath. And sure enough, great big electric motor. And let's see, I see the tag here. See if we can get a picture. Right here I'm trying to get a picture of the ID tag here on the motor. This is actually the electric motor. So there we see the electric motor. This is the powertrain underneath our cement mixer. What replaces the diesel engine is one large electric motor. We have a type of transmission, and then we go back there towards the rear of the vehicle. And I suspect what I'm seeing here in the back is this is just our conventional differentials, air brakes. A lot of the equipment that I'm seeing under here I would see on a conventional diesel-powered cement truck. But there, from the transmission forward, very different. In fact, actually a lot of that space there is kind of empty. Get back in the position here. Yes, a lot of that space is empty. I have a great big steel plate, but I see a circulator pump. That's obviously a coolant pump, therefore it's a radiator up there. But what am I cooling? I'm cooling obviously battery, power electronics, obviously the electric motor. Transmission is going to be very simple and straightforward. So it looks quite impressive. Alright, here we have our charging ports. This is our charging ports. So this is where I'm going to be charging the batteries. I don't have any type of fuel tanks. And here we have the battery module. And it looks like there, for maintenance purposes, if necessary, this could actually be unbolted from its frame fixture and removed. Let's go ahead and take a look at how big it is. Quite large. Quite impressive, going from one side to the other. So this is our battery. One thing about it is it's way up out of the way, so if there's any type of traffic altercation, the battery is safely protected. Now when I look at the cement truck, it may be a little longer in length than a conventional cement mixer to account for the battery, but hey, if it has a reasonable range, this is going to be quite impressive.